What is up everyone, welcome to my channel, my name is Alex and in this episode we are going to review Tekken Tag Tournament 2 for PS3. Tekken Tag 2 is a sequel to the first Tekken Tag game. The arcade version was released in 2011 by Namco and then later in 2012 it got released on PS3, Xbox 360 and Nintendo Wii U. As I've mentioned in one of my previous reviews, Tekken Tag 2 is one of my top 3 favorite Tekken games, along with Tekken 2 and the first Tekken Tag. I mean, the character roster in this game is unbeatable and insanely big. And the DLC characters like Kunimitsu are for free. Basically, once you install the game, you will get a free update that will unlock all the DLC characters. Let's start. Using the Ogre's blood, Heihachi develops a rejuvenation serum that makes him young again. He proceeds and hosts the next King of the Iron Fist tournament that attracts many fighters from all over the world. Amongst these fighters, we see the return of Unknown, who is revealed to be Jun Kazama, possessed by the Forest Spirit. In the meantime, Li Chaolan, who is disguised as his alter ego Violet, is working on his new Super Combat DX. After Combat successfully passes the tests, Li puts him to fight against Heihachi, Jin and Kazuya. Just when it seemed that Combat was winning, Jin taps into his devil powers and destroys Combat. Li then detonates the Combat's remains and seemingly kills his adopted family. Just like with the previous Tekken Tag game, the events of Tekken Tag 2 are not canonical and there is not much going on in the main plot. But we can find out some more info about the Tekken characters and the lore through their endings, and I like to believe that Jun being resurrected by the Forest Spirit that turned her into Unknown after she was killed by Ogre is canon, as Jun is one of my favorite Tekken characters ever. One noticeable difference with the first Tekken Tag is that Unknown doesn't have the wolf spirit behind her, which indicates that she managed to break free of the spirit's control. Also, this time she has her own fighting style based on the Kazama Karate instead of mimicking styles like she did in the first Tekken Tag. Some of the character endings are quite long, which I really appreciate as I love watching the Tekken cutscenes and get immersed into that world. Some of the cutscenes are even connected, like the cutscenes of Xiaoyu, Miharu, Alisa and Panda, or Jin and Devil Jin. Most endings are basically random episodes within the Tekken universe and they don't really collide with the main Tekken canon lore, apart from maybe the Mishima and Kazama endings. The graphics in Tekken Tag 2 are basically the same as in Tekken 6, nothing new here. Although the characters look realistic, they still have a certain anime element to them. Just like in every Tekken game, the overall design is as Japanese as it can get, which I personally love. The arenas look amazing and very memorable, as is always the case with the Tekken games. There's even an arena with a CGI Snoop Dogg. The color palette is off the charts, making everything look really vivid and eye-catching. Some of the characters' secondary costumes look like absolute crap though, but the customization in this game is really good. There's a lot of variety of items to make your characters look the way you want them. Like, I've spent hours fooling around in the customization mode, experimenting with different looks. It's just so much fun. The only negative thing is that before you're able to equip the customization items, you have to buy most of them with the in-game currency that you earn by playing matches. This microtransaction bullshit that you'd normally see in an RPG game always pissed me off in video games, but what can you do? Some customization items can even be used as weapons, and here you can also preset your tag teams. The Tekken series have always had amazing music that would give the games that distinct identity and atmosphere, and this game is no exception. The music in Tekken Tag 2 is awesome. There's a lot of drum and bass and trance beats that I like, some ethnic elements as well as some orchestra strings. The production of the music tracks is high quality and you can hear every note and every detail. There are a lot of tracks here that you can easily jam in a club if you're a DJ. I especially like the Condor Canyon theme, which I think is really cinematic and fitting for an action martial arts movie. It has that vibe like shit's about to go down. The kick-ass main intro with its melodic drum and bass is another favorite. Abyss of Time is an amazing trance masterpiece with tight percussions and mesmerizing female oriental vocals. I also like Plucking Tulips, which is another trance masterpiece. And of course, I can listen to Jun's and Unknown's Heavenly Garden and Fallen Garden themes for hours. Tekken Tag 2 has no doubt one of the dopest video game soundtracks ever. Oh, and the theme of the Snoop Dogg arena is of course a Snoop Dogg track. If you've played any of the previous Tekken games, then you won't be surprised here. Tekken games tend to be all the same at their core, which is not necessarily bad. Tekken Tag 2 plays and feels just like Tekken 6 and the first Tekken Tag. You choose your characters and start kicking ass. In this game you also have the option for handicap matches, where basically you can choose to play solo or even fight against solo opponents. Now regarding the tag system, just like in the first Tekken Tag, you can switch between your two characters with a simple press of a button. While you're using one of the characters, your off-screen character's health gets regenerated. Another way to swap between your characters is in some of the arenas with breakable layers like floors and walls. In these arenas, when you punch your opponent through a layer, your other character will be waiting for them on the other side. Now let's see some of the more complicated tag mechanics in Tekken Tag 2. First, the tag throws. The basic tag throws can be executed by pressing the right punch and the tag button. If landed, your active character will initiate the tag throw, and your other character will finish it and become your active character. Most of the time the tag throws will look the same, but some pairs like Paul and Law will have more personalized tag throws. Some of the characters' regular throws can initiate a tag throw too, depending on which characters you're playing as, of course. For example, if you're playing as Martial Law and Paul, press the tag button while executing Law's regular throw, and it will result in a special tag throw. I think they look really dope and enhance that cinematic feel that I've always loved about the Tekken games. Next we have the tag combos, which I personally don't really use, to be honest. These are usually launchers that allow you to quickly swap your characters and execute some more complex juggling combos. Lastly, there are the tag assaults. Just like with the tag combos, each character has several moves in their arsenal that can initiate a tag assault. These are basically overhead attacks that make your opponent bounce off the ground like your grandpa's balls. To initiate a tag assault, hold down the last attack buttons and press the tag button. Once you do that, your second character will appear. If you continue holding down the tag button, your second character will execute an automated combo that will keep your opponent in the air, so that you can continue the combo with your active character. If you don't hold the tag button when your second character appears, then you can execute any move from their arsenal while they're still glowing white. Once the attack is executed, your second character will go away, leaving your active character free to finish the combo. Now, if you press the direction buttons while your second character is still glowing white, they will not do an attack, and instead they will become your active character, making the character who initiated the tag assault go off screen. All this might sound like some complicated shit, but once you practice and get used to it, it's really fun, and it looks dope as f***. All these tricks that you can do thanks to the tag system make the gameplay feel really fluid, and it can get quite unpredictable. Add this to the biggest character roster in the series yet, and a shitload of different fighting styles, and you get a fighting game masterpiece. Tekken Tag 2 comes with many different modes to play. We get the arcade battle, of course, where you can unlock the characters' endings and rewatch them later in the gallery. You can even download all the character endings from the previous Tekken games, as a paid DLC of course. The final boss is Jun, who transforms into Unknown for the final round. The final battle seems to be taking place in another dimension, which is interesting. The Tekken games have always had a certain mystical element to them that I like. Next, there is the Ghost Battle. This is where you grind that bitch to unlock the character customization items, amongst other unlockable things. If you've played any of the previous Tekken games, then there's not much to say about survival, team battle and time attack modes. These are the typical Namco time-wasting modes which I personally never bothered to play, but somehow would get upset if these modes were missing. And of course we have the practice mode. Pay attention to the arrow signs in the move list here, as that will tell you which moves can initiate the tag combos, tag assaults and the special tag throws. The Fight Lab is basically a tutorial mixed with some story elements. You play as Combot, where Violet and his secretary put you through different tests that will teach you the basic Tekken Tag 2 mechanics. This is where you can also equip Combot with different moves. One of the most fun to play modes is the pair play mode, which allows two players to be in the same tag team. This means that this mode can be played by up to 4 f***ing people at the same time, which makes it ideal for a bro down with your friends. All you need is 4 controllers and some beers and pizza. In order to play the online mode, you need an online passcode. The code is included with the game for free, if you buy the game new. But if you're one of those fuckers like me who buys half of his game second hand, then you'll need to buy a new code, which really sucks if you think that in most games with online features you don't have to go through that shit. But still, Tekken Tag 2 is one of my most favorite Tekken games ever. I love its atmosphere, the music, the character roster, the gameplay. This game has a limitless replayability value and I consider it to be the quintessential Tekken game. And if you still don't have one, you gotta go and grab one ASAP and go and play it. Thanks for watching guys, subscribe, like and leave a comment, check out my other vids and until next time.